breaking news and weather authority. This is 13 Wham News this morning on Rochester's CW in high definition.
All right, 8:30, time for Hot Topics. And at this time, you don't have to be a film buff to know the following names. Because, Jennifer, do you call yourself a film buff?
Not at all.
Okay. Do you know the following names? Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, James Cameron.
You bet.
How about Dennis Hopper, Robert De Niro, Peter Fonda, Jack Nicholson, among the many who credit their start in film to a man named Roger Corman. And Roger Corman on Saturday receives the George Eastman Award, joining a distinguished list of people that the Eastman House has decided to honor for their contribution to the art of film. And Roger Corman joins us on the line now. Good morning, Roger. Are you there, Roger?
Hello?
There you are. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Hello, good morning.
Thanks for taking the time, Roger. I want to start with this because you've become known, you've known for many, many things. You certainly can't pigeonhole your career, but your career has certainly proven that films do not need a big budget to be hugely successful and admired. In some sense, for producers and directors, can it be hindered by having such a big budget? I guess what I'm asking is there an advantage to having smaller budgets that you have found over the years?
Well, the budget varies according to the subject matter and the funds at hand. I simply do the best I can under whatever circumstances I'm working.
And do you think that some films are almost overblown, overdone, as opposed to focusing on the character, the story, the performance?
Yes, well, I think you can look at these giant budgets in several ways. I look at what we refer to as one of our graduates, Jim Cameron, who, when he made Titanic, made a picture with the biggest budget of all time, but it was the biggest grosser of all time. He then followed it up with Avatar, with the biggest budget of all time at that time, and the biggest grosser. Now, when you look at Titanic and Avatar, you can see where the money went. I mean, both pictures, I think, are magnificent pictures with great special effects, and you can understand that he used that giant budgets, I should say, intelligently and well. The problem is other people have taken budgets similar to that, and now I guess they've broken that record, and they've not used them well. There's an emphasis on special effects at the expense of the story, the narrative, the characterization, and so forth, and sometimes there's, frankly, just sheer waste.
Yeah, I think that's very, very well said, and certainly you have shown the beauty of storytelling over the years. You also get the credit for so many great names in film that got their start really through you. And I want to just ask, for example, did you know early on, Jack Nicholson, yep, this is going to work for him. He's going to be a star?
Well, I met Jack in an acting class. My degree was in engineering, and when I started to direct, I felt that I learned the use of the camera, the editing, the technical aspect of it fairly easily, but I didn't know that much about how to work with actors, and I enrolled in a method acting class in Hollywood and met Jack there. And he was not only the best actor in the class, he was, in my limited career at that time, the best actor I'd ever seen. And as you say, it took a long time. I was surprised that it took that long for people to recognize how good he was, but eventually they found out.
Who is another, give me another example of an actor who, when you met them and saw their work, you were struck immediately that this person is going to be a star?
I would say Sly Stallone. He played the second lead to David Carradine in Death Race 2000, my futuristic science fiction action film. And I thought he was brilliant from the beginning, but I thought he would be sort of a star heavy. I didn't quite think that he was a leading man, but I knew that he would be some sort of a star. He became, of course, an action leading man, and a much better actor than people have ever given him credit for, because he's known just for the action roles. On the other hand, there was somebody, a young actress, who I met for the first time. Let me see, I've forgotten the name of the picture. At any rate, I'll pass on that because I forgot the name of the picture. But those two, I felt right from the beginning had that ability.
And Roger, as I mentioned, you joined a distinguished list from the George Eastman House in bestowing this honor on you. And just reading from that list: Charlie Chaplin, Cecil DeMille, Gary Cooper, Gregory Peck, Jimmy Stewart, Audrey Hepburn. I could go on. And the 68th award, it's yours on Saturday. What does it mean to you?
I didn't quite understand. I'm sorry, there's a little problem with the connection here.
What does the award itself, the George Eastman Award that the George Eastman House is giving to you after a long list of huge names in the industry: Charlie Chaplin, Cecil DeMille, Gregory Peck, Jimmy Stewart, Audrey Hepburn, Martin Scorsese, we could go on. They're going to give this honor to you now, and what does that mean to you?
It means a great deal to me. I've had various levels of recommendation and the recognition, and I think this is one of the most important. But the George Eastman House is well known for the work it's done in recognition and in supporting motion pictures, and to be somewhere even close to that stellar list is very important and gratifying.
And Roger, before we let you go, you have so many colleagues, I'm sure friends, who now are titans in the industry. And it's fascinating for me to always ask people in your position, have you seen any films recently that pop out and say, you got to go see this, or is any storytelling recently that really floored you, that has really inspired you?
Well, most recently, the storytelling and the picture Gravity has probably been the most impressive to me. I thought the film was beautifully portrayed. The acting was excellent. I mean, there are 2 possible Academy Awards going to be given for that picture, at least without question 2 Academy Award nominations. And I just thought Gravity was beautifully told, and also used special effects extremely well in service of the story. So the special effects are brilliant and impressive, but again, as I said with Jim Cameron, they serve the story.
And if I could just add, as we conclude this interview, Sandra Bullock, one of the leads, largely credits her start to Roger Corman. Hey, thanks for taking the time. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. It's our honor to talk to you, Roger. Thanks very much.
Very good. I thank you.
And to Roger Corman, a legend, on the phone with us this morning.
Yeah, a titan. Cool.
Good company.
Will there be theatrics in the forecast
We're going to find out.
Training goes tonight? Marty is trying to nail down all the time frame for you, his full forecast.
The plot.
Coming up in a moment.
Revealed.